Hello and welcome, I'm Sai, and today we're going to be talking about guitar chord diagrams. Let's go! This video is going to be quick and simple and purely practical. We're going to learn to read the diagram and play the chord. There will be a second video dedicated to understanding the actual notes that make up the chords and how to find them. So what we'll do today is take a look at some already made chord diagrams and we'll figure out what all of the aspects of the diagram mean, and then we'll play the chord. I think the best way to do this is to jump into the tablet, so let's do that now. So I thought it'd be fun to look at a guitar chord poster and break down some of the chords on the poster. Okay, so I actually realized that before we jump into the poster, it makes sense for us to look at a blank diagram and figure out what all the parts mean. So we have 6 vertical lines in each of these individual charts or diagrams, and then we have a few horizontal lines. The horizontal line closest to the top of the page is the thickest line, and then the rest are all thinner. So our 6th line represent our strings. Because we're playing guitar, we're playing a 6-stringed instrument. So let's zoom in and we'll write on one of the diagrams our strings. So we can go by numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or we can go by string names. Sometimes I like to thicken up this top line because that string is thicker and it's just sometimes visually more helpful. All right, now we've got this other thick line right here. That is our nut. So based on that, what are our other parallel to the nut lines on a physical guitar? We've got our frets. So we've got our 1st fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret. We're going to just cover open chords today, so that will be sufficient. Next, we actually have to put our fingers on the guitar. So what we're going to do is put circles or dots that represent our fingers. Let's say I'm playing a C chord. So we look at our C chord here. So we have a finger on the 2nd string or the B string by the 1st fret. So we're going to draw a dot there that represents one of our fingers. Next, we have a finger on the D string or 4th string by the 2nd fret. So I'm going to draw another circle there for my next finger. Last, we have our finger on the A string or 5th string by the 3rd fret. So I'm going to draw that last one there. We're going to also draw an X on the 6th string or the thickest string because we're not going to strum that when we play this chord. And those 3 dots all together with all the other strings sound like this. That's our C chord. Okay, now that we've used the C chord as an example to learn how to read the diagrams, let's learn a new chord. So we don't know what this chord is, but we're going to follow the instructions from the diagram and build the chord, and hopefully it sounds amazing. So let's look at this diagram. So the 2 thickest strings have X's above them, so they are not going to be strummed, so we can just ignore those. Now let's look at our dots. So we see a dot on the 3rd string or the G by the 2nd fret, so right there. Then we see another dot on the 1st string or the E by the 2nd fret, and then we see a 3rd dot on the 2nd string or the B by the 3rd fret. We also see a little circle on top of the 4th string, which tells us that we can strum that and it's just going to be open. So that makes sense because we don't have a finger on it anyway. So let's hear what this chord sounds like. Great, and that is a D chord. So based on these dots, it's also possible that we could have played it like this and still followed the instructions. So some charts actually have numbers to show you which finger you're going to place on which spot. So our finger numbers are finger 1, finger 2, finger 3, and finger 4. So let's look at this chord with the finger numbers on the chart as well. All right, that's everything you need to know to read a chord diagram and then play the chord. If you want to learn more about chords, check out the video that I've linked below all about chords, and stay tuned for part 2 of this video. Thanks for watching. Bye!